Need some coins for the God Squad you've always wanted? Check out rockbottomcoins.com for the safest and cheapest coins anywhere. Make sure you check out the solo grinding service as well. Use code Zirksee at checkout for a 10% discount on your order.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be going over my Madden Harvest player predictions. And before I get into it, I do have a couple things I want to discuss before I tell you what players I think will be getting cards. So, of course, we had four kind of main cards that you needed in order to get the Master Set done last year, and that was Lane Johnson, Jalen Ramsey, Jarvis Landry, and Chandler Jones. And I don't believe any of those teams actually played on Thanksgiving, so I don't really know why they decided to choose those four players, and of course they can't do those players again. They were 91 overall players, I believe, 91, 92 overall. I can't exactly remember. I think they were one of the two. But we had, Jalen Ramsey, who already has a Team Diamond card. Same thing with Lane Johnson. Jarvis Landry has a Team Diamond card. And then, of course, Chandler Jones literally just got a Football Outsider. So I'm not exactly sure what players are going to do for those. So I'm going to leave those alone. And this is mostly going to be about the Master card. And, of course, the Cultivators, which is one of the most exciting things to talk about and is one of the more fun things to do. Of course, during the football games, these players' overalls will be affected. They won't change mid-game. They change like the next day, I believe, or actually, I think it's the next day. They get updated in the morning is when their overalls do change. But with that being said, I do want to talk about the Cultivators really quickly. Before you comment down below, I believe, well, I know for a fact, last year there was 3 offense and 3 defensive players. So, of course, with 6 teams playing, that means one team's going to have an offense, one team's going to have a defensive player. So, I'm not exactly sure which team's going to get offense, which team's going to get defense. So I'm going to give you guys one option for each team. I'm going to give you one offensive player, one defensive player. EA could possibly choose from those teams to get an upgrade. Also, keep in mind, last year, basically these players, if you don't know what it is, they started for like 90 overall. And then, of course, depending on how they do in the game, there's certain goals where they go to 91 overall or 93 overall. So, before you comment down below saying this player should get it, not this guy, keep in mind, if they already have a 90 overall or above, they're not going to end up getting a Cultivator. So please just keep that in mind when we go over that. But first off, I want to get into the Madden Harvest Master, or at least my prediction, which honestly I feel like is probably going to be correct here. I believe it's actually going to be Barry Sanders. As you guys know, we just got a Barry Sanders Elite giveaway card. Literally a couple days ago, it was on the 7th. Today is the 13th. So I do believe this is going to be kind of a hint from EA saying Barry Sanders once again is going to be the Madden Harvest Master. He was last year, and I had some people say, well, we got a free, Odell Beckham Jr. and Von Miller. What happened with those cards? Mud Hero, Primetime Performer. I think this is just kind of a little sneak peek towards the Madden Harvest promo, and I do believe Barry will once again be the hero, and maybe if we're lucky, they'll give us 2. Which I doubt they will give us 2. Maybe they do like Barry and I was going to say Herman Moore because he was the master, I believe, in Madden 17 or 18, one of the two. I think it was 17. But he does already have a limited time card. So maybe they'll do like 2 and give us Barry and like Michael Irvin. That would be awesome. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into my Cultivator predictions. So, for the Bears, I do believe it is going to be Mitchell Trubisky. Now, I know I also am going to give you guys a defensive player, but I really feel like Mitchell Trubisky will probably end up getting this. Now, keep in mind, I'm recording this video at 1:35 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So, if it ends up being a Team of the Week Mitch this afternoon, obviously, get rid of Trubisky. He's not going to be the Bears guy. It is a possibility he doesn't get the Team of the Week hero for this week. He had a very, very solid week. But if he doesn't, I do believe Trubisky will probably be the Bears hero or cultivator. So I'm also going to take a guess at what he could possibly get in order to boost its stats. Also, keep in mind, guys, last year there was 1 safety, 1 corner, 1 defensive end, 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, and of course we also had a running back. So you're only going to have probably 1 player per position for this. So Mitch will be the only quarterback, in my opinion. If he does actually end up getting this, he'll be the only QB. And I believe it's going to be probably 150 passing yards. Gets into 91 overall, and 300 passing yards gets him to 93 overall. We could see that a little bit different because that's what it was for Dak Prescott last year. Obviously, Mitch can actually throw for 300 yards. So maybe to be like 2 touchdowns and 4 touchdowns, that would be a little bit more interesting. But for the Bears, I truly do believe it's going to be Mitch, but I'm also going to give you guys a defensive player it could possibly be. And for my defensive player, I'm going with Roquan Smith. Now, he does also have a rookie premier, which would kind of make this a little bit more interesting if he wants to do it this way. Maybe 5 tackles gets him to a 91 overall, and 10 tackles gets him to a 93. Now, another possibility for the defense could be maybe Eddie Jackson if they decide to go that way, 10 tackle, or maybe a pass defense gets to 91 overall, an interception gets to 93. I know they did something like that with Xavier Rhodes last year, so it's possible that we see that as well, but I feel like Roquan Smith would be an okay one as well. He does have a rookie premier, but if EA doesn't want to go the rookie premier route and give you basically a free 90 overall guaranteed, maybe in a free 93, they might just end up going with Eddie Jackson. Now, to me, this was kind of an easy pick. Kerryon Johnson, this man has been going absolutely insane for the Lions, actually giving them a running game, and I feel like this is pretty easy as well. 93 overall, 100 rushing yards, 91 overall, maybe 50 rushing yards, which, I mean, they're playing the Bears defense. I believe it's the Bears and the Lions playing each other, so that's a pretty tough game to rush for 100 yards versus that defense. So this will be a pretty interesting one, but the card himself, 89 speed, 89 excel, 76 break tackle, 80 truck courses, only an 85 overall card. So if he gets up to 93, he could still be looking pretty glitchy, but there's so many good running backs in the game right now. It's also possible to do like Marvin Jones, maybe 1 touchdown, gets to 91, 2 touchdowns, gets to 93. But I feel like Johnson probably has a higher probability, and of course Matt Stafford does have a Team Diamond card. He could possibly be in this, but I feel like because he has a Team Diamond, he's not going to. Now, defensively for the Lions, I feel like it's got to be Ziggy Ansah. Unless they want to do a repeat and give us Glover Quinn again, I feel like it's probably going to be Ezekiel Ansah. Of course, Darius Slay already has a flashback card, so Ziggy, 85 overall, 1 sack gets him to a 91, 2 sacks gets him up to a 93 overall. That'd be an okay one as well. Whichever they decide to do, Kerryon Johnson or Ezekiel Ansah, I feel like the probability of them going more offense for this one is probably higher, just because they want to do Kerryon Johnson versus the Bears, which then would mean that the Bears would probably be defensively. This is going to be kind of interesting to see if they want to go either Mitch Trubisky for the Bears and then defense for the Lions, or flip-flop, whatever they want to do. Now, for the Redskins offensively, again, it kind of depends on if they want to go with like Mitch. I feel like the Redskins, there's really not a big name, like a lot of big name players, unless they want to go like Vernon Davis, which I don't think they would. So I'm going to guess Alex Smith for the Redskins offensive hero. Again, he really hasn't passed a lot, so this one could be the 150 passing yards and then 300 passing yards. I think in like the past 2 games, he's thrown for exactly like 186 yards, something like that. So Alex Smith getting 300 passing yards versus the Cowboys defense, probably not going to happen, so I'd highly recommend you stay away from this card if he does actually get the Cultivator. And on the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to go with DJ Swearinger. I believe he's ranked as the top safety in the NFL still, and last game versus the Cowboys, I think it was actually the game, yeah, it actually is. He also had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery, and he played pretty freaking solid versus the Cowboys. So DJ Swearinger, matched up versus Cowboys again on Thanksgiving Day, he could definitely end up getting maybe, I don't want to say forced fumbles, I probably want to say tackles for DJ Swearinger. So maybe 5 tackles gets him up to a 91, 10 tackles gets him up to a 93 overall. Now this one to me just makes perfect sense for the Cowboys. Amari Cooper, our newly acquired wide receiver. Now he's been averaging about 60 yards a game. I believe last game versus the Eagles, he had like 67 yards, something like that. So it's very possible he gets 50 receiving yards up to 91, 100 receiving yards up to 93 overall. So it's either going to be receiving yards or maybe touchdowns. Probably more on the receiving yards. And I could definitely see this in terms of like if they want to do just one receiver, so either receiver or a tight end. I feel like with the Cowboys, Amari Cooper would be perfect. Dak, probably not going to happen this year. And of course, Zeke, I actually predict will probably get the team to league boss later tonight. So hopefully I'm correct on that one. But I do believe that Amari Cooper will probably end up being the Cowboys cultivator. Now, honestly, this one is super, super tough for the Cowboys defense. If you guys have watched any Cowboys games, you know there's about 3 standout studs that they could go with that don't have high overall cards. Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch, and Byron Jones. I'm going to go with Jalen Smith, though. I feel like they're going to go with Jalen here because maybe they'll do a secondary player somewhere else, like with DJ Swearingen. Just they won't want to do Byron just yet, which, by the way, he better get an upgrade, too, because that man's been balling. But Jalen Smith, this card only has 77 speed, but my God, if you've watched Cowboys games, this man is flying all over the field. And once again, Leighton does have a rookie premier. Jalen Smith obviously doesn't. He's not a rookie. So Jalen Smith probably able to get him this probably a little bit higher. 5 tackles. 10 tackles. Kind of makes sense to me to give him that upgrade. And if he is the Cowboys captain, boy, I'm picking up this cultivator, Jalen Smith. Now, for the Saints, this is kind of a tough one, to be honest, defensively. I feel like they're just going to go with offense on this one. But if I have to choose someone, I'm going to go with Marcus Williams, maybe Davenport, their rookie. It's kind of hard to go to anyone here. I mean, there's Cameron Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore literally just got a flashback card. Really don't see anyone else getting it possibly besides Marcus Williams, so more than likely it's going to be offense for the Saints. And as soon as the Saints actually got Dez Bryant, I tweeted out saying that Dez Bryant was going to be the cultivator for the Saints game. Sadly, he tore his Achilles. So the rest of the players, Kamara already has a 90 overall Mud Hero. Michael Thomas already has a 91 overall Night Guardian. Benjamin Watson, possibly, but I really feel like it's going to be Mark Ingram. I don't see any other running backs possibly getting one. So Mark Ingram makes sense. 1 touchdown, 91 overall, 2 touchdowns, 93 overall. I mean, the card would be okay. Nothing insane. But for the Saints, it's probably going to be Ingram. Now, for the Falcons, I'm kind of down to 2 players. I was going to say Tevin Coleman, but he already has a flashback. Matty Ice already has a Team of the Week 91 overall card. So really, for offense, it's basically Calvin Ridley or Austin Hooper. There's really no other players to go with here. So I'm going to say Calvin Ridley. He has a rookie premier card. People would love to get this Calvin Ridley. 91 speed, 6'1", 1 touchdown, 2 touchdown progression. I feel like that'd be the best thing for Calvin Ridley. Seems like all he does is basically catch touchdowns. But I have a feeling that the Saints will probably be the Falcons will be a defense because the Saints is probably about 90% sure it's going to be Mark Ingram. And honestly, Falcons defense, it seems like all the good players basically have good cards because see Grady Jarrett, Ricardo Allen, or Demonte Kazi, I believe is how you say his name, Demonte Kazi. I think he's actually one of the leaders in the NFL in interceptions, and he's been playing very, very good for them. As you guys can see, 85 speed, 86 excel. On an 81 overall card, could be pretty interesting, but I feel like the Falcons probably have like the biggest meh player in terms of defensively. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, smack the like button, subscribe, and comment. Let me know down below what players you predict will get some cultivators. I feel like with the Saints, basically it's going to be Mark Ingram unless they just want to throw a defensive player out there, and then for the Falcons, give us Calvin Ridley. If it's going to be a Falcons defensive player, I'm not exactly sure who it's going to be, but I got to say, I'm pretty excited for the Cowboys. It's probably going to be, Amari Cooper, Byron Jones, or Jalen Smith. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.